Welcome back to Timeless Messages from the I Ching. This is Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. So today's video, I have a question that I've already cast the coins for. As you can see, it is the clinging fire. It's a double trigram, Li above Li, and this happens 8 different times in the I Ching, so it's a unique hexagram. The question I asked today is, what is the most important message for the viewer at the time they find this video? Whether that's in 5 years or 5 months from the posting date, it doesn't matter. Your divine self, your angels, your creator, your spirit guides, your unconscious, wise direction has guided you here today. So, again, the question, what is the most important message for viewers at the time they find this video? If you'd like to just rest your eyes, feel free to do so. And here is the message. Number 30, Li, the clinging fire. This hexagram is another double sign. The trigram Li means to cling to something, to be conditioned, to depend, or rest on something, and also brightness. A dark line clings to 2 light lines, one above and one below. So as you can see, there's a feminine yin line, a broken line, in between 2 solid lines on the bottom and the top trigram. A dark line clings to 2 light lines, one above and one below, the image of an empty space between 2 strong lines, whereby the 2 strong lines are made bright. The 2 strong lines are made bright. The trigram represents the middle daughter. The middle daughter also, in terms of Feng Shui and Vastu Shastra, well, specifically Chinese Feng Shui, because the I Ching comes from China. The middle daughter, yes, the middle daughter is the South, and the South is fire. And the life themes of the South are life vision, respect, and fame. So having a vision for your life and receiving respect and generating respect as well. The creative has incorporated the central line of the receptive, and thus Li develops. As an image, this is fire. Fire has no definite form but clings to the burning object, and thus is bright. As water pours down from heaven, so fire flames up from the earth, so the movement of the clinging fire is upward. Just as you're watching a fire outside on the ground, it's flaming upward. Well, Kan, the abysmal water, means the soul shut within the body. Li, this hexagram, stands for nature and its radiance. The clinging, the judgment. The clinging, perseverance furthers. It brings success. Care of the cow brings good fortune. What is dark clings to what is light, and so enhances the brightness of the latter. A luminous thing, giving out light, must have within itself something that perseveres, that lasts, that perpetuates, that continues. Otherwise, this bright object, this bright light, will in time burn itself out. Everything that gives light is dependent on something to which it clings, in order that it may continue to shine. Thus, sun and moon cling to heaven. Heaven supports and provides the space for the sun and the moon. And the grains, the grasses, and the trees cling to the earth. The earth sustains the grasses, the grains, the trees. They cling to it. And so too, the clarity of the dedicated person clings to what is right, and thereby can shape the world. Human life on earth is conditioned and is unfree. And when a person recognizes this limitation and makes themselves dependent upon the harmonious and beneficial forces of the cosmos, they achieve success. The cow is the symbol of extreme docility. Let's just define docility here. Docility is, you can find it here, obedience, submissiveness, easily managed. Someone who's docile is easily managed. Someone who is easily taught, quick to learn, someone who's docile like a cow does not put up a lot of stubborn resistance. They don't evoke hostility. You know, they have a humble way about them, and they're willing to learn quickly and easily, and they're obedient. So the cow is a symbol of extreme docility. By cultivating in oneself an attitude of compliance and voluntary dependence, voluntary dependence meaning dependence on the cosmos, a person acquires clarity without sharpness and finds their place in the world. So here we have the idea of care of the cow brings good fortune. The top sentence there, the judgment, care of the cow brings good fortune. So the cow, you're caring for these attributes of obedience, submissiveness, being open to learning, being easily taught, being quick to learn. These are wonderful qualities to cultivate in yourself for your own success. And the other idea here is that in order that the light, this luminous light that is radiant, just like nature, it has to have something that will feed it, you know, that will nourish it, or else it will burn itself out. So this light could be you. You may be this luminous light, and you have to maintain your nourishment, not only your physical nourishment for food and so forth, but your spiritual, your mental, your emotional nourishment, your social nourishment for connection and so forth. And if you can maintain that nourishment, your light will shine very strongly. Okay? And by cultivating in yourself an attitude of compliance, going along with things, and being dependent voluntarily on the beneficial and harmonious providing aspects and forces of the universe, you achieve success. And you achieve clarity that's not pointed, that's not sharp. The clarity is soft. It's yielding. It's not, look at me, you know, I've got the best idea here. You know, it's not in your face kind of thing. And therefore, with this modesty and this clarity, this voluntary dependence, this attitude of compliance and going along, and this ability to learn and be easily taught and be submissive, you will find your place in the world and you will shine. The image, that which is bright rises twice. That means we have the double trigram here of fire above fire. That which is bright rises twice. The image of fire. Thus the great person, by perpetuating this brightness, what does perpetuating mean? By causing to endure or continuing, preserving from extinction. Perpetuating is to essentially continue. Thus the great person, by continuing this brightness, illumines or illuminates the 4 quarters of the world. Well, essentially, this great person, by continuing this brightness, will illuminate the world. What a wonderful image. And here we have the idea of a wonderful vision of your own brightness and the brightness that you are able to help bring into the world will help brighten up the world, illuminate the whole world. Each of the 2 trigrams represents the sun and the course of a day, and the 2 together represent the repeated movement of the sun, the function of light with respect to time. The great person continues the work of nature in the human world. Through the clarity of their own nature, they cause the light to spread farther and farther, and to penetrate the nature of humanity ever more deeply. So here we have a very hopeful idea that the great person will be like nature in the human world. Nature is radiant. It's profuse. It's extremely radiant and beautiful, and it's true. It's aligned with truth. And through being aligned with truth and through connection with this clarity that's not sharp, but it's soft and yielding, this nature of this great person will cause a light to spread further and further into the whole human experience ever more deeply. So this could talk about your gifts, about expressing your gifts, expressing certain attributes that you have very good handle on, just putting yourself out there in a way that people are assisted and helped, whatever particular unique attributes that you have, your passions and gifts that are assisting the light to permeate humanity farther and farther and deeper and deeper. Again, the idea of the clinging fire, because it relates to the South, we have the idea of life vision, fire, fame, respect. Okay, so all these ideas come into this as well, as the middle daughter is related to the South. So the important thing to remember here, I think, is that you are this luminous thing. And because you are luminous, you have to cling to something that feeds your light. And so make sure you have a strong source or sources to cling to feed your own inner light, so that you can share that inner light, that wisdom, that clarity without sharpness, that willingness to learn, that ability to understand that the universe or the earth is an unfree place. But if you recognize this limitation and make yourself dependent upon the harmonious and beneficial forces of the universe, you will achieve success. So it talks a lot about trust as well. Knowing that conditions are unfree on the earth. Okay, sure, we have suffering, we have difficulties. We can't do everything, but if we recognize this and we trust that and we depend upon the universe and trust that the universe in its beneficial and harmonious forces and qualities is supporting us, then we do have success. Trust, even though things may not be the easiest at this time, is a wonderful magical key to help unlock that spirit world and the help that's available to us in every moment. So we must persevere in not only sharing that light, but making sure that the sources that nourish that light that we cling to are in good order, so we can continue to shine. Because we depend upon the sources that nourish the light so that our light may shine. I hope these messages are beneficial. I would listen to these at least once or twice again and write down some of the major points that you understood from this. And maybe before you go to bed, this would be good to listen to. Consider the idea of the clinging fire an opportunity to delve into your gifts, to sustain that connection and expression, to let your light shine, as well to open up to what is it that nourishes and feeds me so that I don't burn out, so that I can continue to shine, and try to allow that process as much as possible. When things aren't going so well, remember to trust in the beneficial forces of the universe to support and sustain you, and you are going to be supported and sustained. And remember that your light is to be shared. It's not to be kept under a bushel. And through your own soft, non-sharp clarity of your own inner nature, your light will spread further and further and penetrate the nature of humanity ever more deeply. What an interesting and beautiful vision. Hope this helps you. Take care of yourself.